Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another production of the Cross-Platform Baseball League. My name is Dwayne, and with me in the booth once again, AA Season Number 1, Oxbox. How you doing tonight, Ox? We're back for another weekly roundup.
What's up, Dwayne? Good to be here, man. One of getting down to the playoff roundups here is the XBL, as we'll get to, is getting down to the nitty-gritty, and the AA and AAA playoffs are starting to begin.
Yes, indeed, exactly. As Ox just stated, we are in the thick of all of it right now for all three tiers here on the fifth roundup of our XBL Season 12 here. So we're going to go over the AA round robin, the AAA round robin, the XPL Power Rankings. We have our stats, storylines, and then our plays of the week as usual. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and slide into things. Starting off with the XPL Power Rankings this week, a little bit out of order, as the playoff chatter I think will be a little bit more exciting and important to us. Let me just go ahead and get our music going.
We're rocking no caps this week, man. I like it, no cap.
Yeah, that wasn't coordinated. That's totally spur of the moment. All right.
Yeah, like we said, we're doing things a little bit different this week because we already know the AA and AAA, how things played out. There's no real reason to start with the power rankings there, so we're going to jump into the XBL power rankings as we get into week 6 here. Only a couple weeks remaining, Dwayne.
Yeah, only a couple weeks remaining. Indeed, these players still nobody mathematically eliminated, I believe, from the XBL. So everybody in the thick of it looking for wins. And as we look at 16, 17, and 18, it's really no changes in the group that we've seen in the past, I believe, 2 to 3 weeks. Just a change for M. Bennings getting the bump. He was tied with Squiggle Jones last week. Now he's down there below Squiggle Jones. We remember Squiggle swept M. Bennings on the match of the week early in the season. Although Squiggle having what looks like a tougher week 5, picking up 6 losses along with 2 wins versus the Burning Rivers.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about both of those guys. Huge shout out for the sweeps they picked up this week despite the losses. They're going to keep on picking up losses, unfortunately. But Squiggle with the big sweep over Burning Rivers and M. Bennings with the big sweep over the Flippers, who both were looking like playoff teams before those big sweeps by the Toe Beans and the Mythics. So a nice job by both those two teams to really still battle here late in the season. And those guys are not out of the playoff picture, like you said, and they're candidates to really snipe games off people.
Yes, indeed. Finite's still looking for his first win there at the bottom. He had an 0-4 week last week. Still, the games yet to really go his way, but they keep getting closer and closer. So we'll look to him in week 6 as well to probably pick up his first W. Maybe get the ball rolling and start to put some pressure on these other teams as we move up the board to 13, 14, and 15. We have a tie at rank 14. These players are below the Moon Kingdom and Pizza Volcano at rank 13. We have Flash and Burning Rivers, respectively, tied there at 14th.
Yeah, not a whole lot of movement here as we see. We did see Pizza nearly get a sweep of Webb on Match of the Week a couple nights ago. That would have really bumped Pizza into, serious playoff contention. But Burning Rivers and Moon Kingdom still have a shot down the stretch for that 12 seed. And Flash, he's starting to get it going. Look at that. We see Flash with the 4-2 week. Those 4 wins are twice the amount of wins that he actually had the entire season. So kind of a massive week for the Flashertons as he starts to, do his regular into the season momentum push.
Yeah, race to the end for the Flashertons always seems to come upon us quickly, and he's going to put himself right into the thick of the conversation. You'd think he'd be pushing for maybe even at least a 10th seed, with the amount of games in hand he has. Things start to go his way as he packs them in. So let's keep looking at who he's going to be in the conversation with. It's 10, 11, and 12 here. No changes among these clubs from last week. It's Webb at 10th with his Ice Caps, Boops, and the Colts at 11th, followed by Permatil and his rookie Flippers at 12th.
Yeah, Webb's still in the thick of it for that 12 spot. He'd like to distance himself, I'm sure, and really solidify his, top 10 playoff seeding. But everybody else behind Webb is really, really still fighting for just to even make the playoffs. Webb's not out of the woods yet, but everybody 11 through like 16, 1 through 15 is really fighting, scrambling to get in the mix there. And like I keep saying, hopefully we get one of those play-in game, 1-game playoff for that final seed.
Yeah, there's a lot of players with a few games to play, so things could shape up to be that to push us in that direction very soon. It would seem like as if those players start to get those games in and the records start to get a little bit closer together. You see 2 players in this group, both at 14 losses, but Webb a bit ahead on games. So you don't know who exactly might be in that conversation, but as you and I have stated on, I think back-to-back roundups now, we want that 12 versus 13 play-in as bad as anything this season.
Hey, I'm not even opposed to a 3-way play. I don't even know what happens when there's a 3-way tie.
Yeah, we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, kind of thing. I don't know. That would be pretty crazy.
Be mind blown.
Mind blown. Yeah, there you go. Sneak that one in there as we look at 7, 8, and 9. Another ranked tie here at 8th. Wishbone stays at 7th for I believe the 3rd consecutive week. Congratulations to him also with the 3rd strength of schedule. So he's looking really good. Doubled his win total from the previous XBL season he had. Congratulations to him as well, because I know that was a goal of his. He's matched up with the Pandas at the records 12 and 14, and the Pandas are tied with Ted, who's 15 and 15. We called him the Split King at the beginning of the season, and he didn't split as many series as we might think, but here he is 30 games in, and he is 15 and 15, flat 500.
It's crazy how Ted is always right there at 500, which in the XBL is no easy task at all. But even with the lack of splits, like you said, Ted's still right there, steady Teddy. But a big shout out to both of the 7 and 8 seeds, like you said, right now, Wishbone and Speedy. I think Speed Demon started something crazy like 0 and 8, 1 and 9, something abysmal, and he's just been on fire since. Number one strength of schedule, and both those guys with the 250 win percentage against 500 teams or better. That's pretty solid, honestly. I mean, you see that's much better than Ted's win percentage against the better teams in this league. So great job by both of those, the Astronauts and the Pandas, respectively.
Yeah, especially getting it done, a bit lacking on the offensive spectrum, in comparison to Ted, who's batting, at 345. Wishbone batting below 300 and still up there in the top 7 conversation. So shout out to him, definitely improving big time on last season. And we'll slide up to ranks 4, 5, and 6. So we have another rank tie. This time it's at 5th. Up in front of them, it's Luke Archer and the Mallards staying at 4th. He's 10 games above 500 after sweeping the minors this week. And then the first time myself and the Ice Sox are up in the number 5 conversation. An honor to be tied up with someone as as strong and consistent as GTM.
Yeah, great job by the Ice Sox, Dwayne. You've really stayed consistent this season and have a great looking record right now, because I wouldn't have, the top 6 seemed pretty set for most of the season, and now the Ice Sox are right in there sneaking into that top 5. You're right there with GTM, like we said, and GTM with a big win over Lazy this season has, look at that win percentage against the 500 or better teams. GTM's really proven that he can take that next step this season in the postseason, I think, but he's still having trouble distancing himself from teams like the Ice Sox, and it's going to be tough for GTM to get a top 4 bye at this point, but great job by all 3 of these teams to finish out the year strong, and hopefully you guys keep rolling.
Yeah, I think just something to note, whether there may be similarities in the records among these clubs, the differences in all the numbers, all 3 of these clubs in a lot of ways doing it what looks to be in different ways, like you see Luke with the high runs scored per 9. He's got a pretty decent runs allowed per 9. Then I'm pushing the envelope a little bit more on the lower side there, but I can't score quite as much, as Luke might. And then GTM, he's scoring at an extremely high clip, also batting almost 400. Him and Luke actually almost identical. Wow, I didn't even see that off the rip. But he's giving up a lot more runs, and that's definitely hurting him now, but he's still got games to play. All these teams still have games to play. Myself, only one more set, but those numbers are going to you think add up, and things are going to shake out where GTM and Luke are probably going to be the solid 4 and 5.
Yeah, like you said, Luke and GTM almost identical. Crazy offensive, pretty solid offensive numbers, but the difference being Luke giving up a pretty good, a solid amount of runs. 5 runs a game in the XBL is pretty good, but that 285 batting average against is well under league average. I would think so. Nice job of him by keeping people off base as much as he can.
Yeah, impressive to be under 300 in the season dominated by the offense. As we look at the 3 offensive juggernauts in the XBL at 1, 2, and 3, it is Lazy, Weaver, and Ashnod's Coupon. No movement, from last week between all 3 of them. All 3 of them picking up at least 1 win this week. Ashnod all with the the split against Weaver. Big for him to pick up a W at all. I believe it was another pair of close games, and Weaver just continuing to win a ton and keeping it close and winning when it matters.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting to point out here. The actual power rankings of 1, 2, and 3 are flip-flopped yet again of the standings of 1, 2, and 3, as Ashnod is actually tied with Weaver for the first place spot, and Lazy's coming in at number 3. But these are power rankings, and it is, you got to tip your cap to Weaver. We expected Ashnod and Lazy to come into the season and do what they've done, but Weaver has really proven that season 11 was no fluke, Dwayne. He's here to stay. He has backed up that performance with an equally impressive season 12, and I can't wait to see what happens in the playoffs between, not only these 3 teams, but with everybody. It's going to be some crazy fireworks.
Yeah, next week I think we'll really be able to get into what the bracket's going to start to look like for the XBL, and these three players are going to be big parts of that conversation about who's going to have to go through who in order to get, all the way through to the promised land. So, as you said, it's going to be just super duper exciting. All these players have had great seasons. Lazy and Ashnod on base percentages over 500. Weaver putting up another Von Asen level season. I mean, it's always something with these three.
Yeah, absolutely. And stay tuned, folks. We've got the season 8 and 9 World Series rematch between Lazy and Ashnod still yet to be played.
Yeah, that's true. That's still on the regular season slate, and I've got that one circled on my script as possible World Series match. I'm at least hopeful for myself. We'll see what happens though down the line. And I think now that's enough XBL, and we can go ahead and slide over to the teams and leagues that are in the playoffs right now. Starting off with the AA round robin, wouldn't you say, Ox?
Yeah, and I think the AA round robin just getting started today, actually. But a shout out to the AAA. You guys did a great job of getting your games in across the league as we wrapped up the season, and you guys did a great job of getting your round robin started. So a good job to the AAA players, and a good job by the AA players of having some urgency here as we wrap things up and get the round robins. Like I said, I think we just started breaking ice on getting those started. So good job, guys.
Yeah, definitely great job to everybody participating to pack the games in this weekend. And as it stands, AA, there's only one outstanding seeding series with implications yet to play, and that is between the Best Buds and the Hudson Softies, as you see on your screen here at 4 and 5. That will determine, I believe, the 3, 4, and 5 seeds. We have 1, 2, and 6 all locked. So congratulations to the Nazgul 9, the Plum Island Pirates, and the I believe Athens Magicians for all getting their spots. Ox, Rise and Fall, and Rick, all guaranteed spots in this quarterfinal, as well as the Best Buds and the Hudson Softies, but their seedings and the Razorbacks not quite nailed down yet due to run differential and things like that.
Yeah, it's interesting, Dwayne. One thing for some of you viewers out here that might not have heard, so we've got, not only is the round robin something new we're doing this year in the XBL, but League Office just announced an interesting new addition to the round robins. We're going to go similar to what MLB is trying to go to with the playoff excitement, and the top 4 seeds are actually going to choose their opponent between the 4 remaining seeds in the AA and AAA. So we've got decision day still yet to come.
Yeah, decision day for both leagues in the AA and AAA is going to be huge. Really, really exciting, quirk we added sort of at the last minute as we got some feedback from the players and realized we wanted to change things up, because if you were here the last few weeks, we're talking about the top half also having to play a round robin. This time, though, now they're all guaranteed spots, they're guaranteed seeds, and they're going to pick their opponents, out of the 4, 5, 6, and then the 7 and 8 that come out of the bottom round robin here, which we're going to talk about now. And you see the players here. We have Azrael and his Saints, Fresh Poet and Comedy Baseball, Dad Slush and L7, Snowbird and the Black Roses, Joey and the Teamsters, and Captain Bruisin and the Sea Monsters. Like Ox said, just breaking ice. The Teamsters 0-1 against the Sea Monsters 1-0. They played the first game in the AA round robin thus far, and I think in chat we're being updated by Joey himself that we need to update the graphic because he's 1-1.
Teamsters getting on the board here, shaking things up. And we've got a couple some interesting AA stat lines from Wishbone this week, so stay tuned from those. And one thing I think is going to be common, Dwayne, in the AA and the AAA round robin games, we're going to see some upsets. We're going to see some big time surprising. I doubt the 7 and the 8 seeds come out on top of both the AAA and AA round robins. We're going to see somebody shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a lot of potential for upset here, as every team will have at least 5+ games to play if you consider the amount of players in both leagues, to really prove themselves, as opposed to in the past where in round 1, if you were 1 and done, you were only playing 2 games, really only 2 chances to really prove yourself and put yourself out there. And sometimes baseball and Super Mega Baseball can be cruel in that aspect. So with more chances to play and more teams in the race, it will be interesting to see who comes out for those final 2 spots and makes these quarterfinals really spiced up. And I think we can move on now to AAA, would you say?
Yeah, real quick though, just wanted to say, best buds, Hudson Softies, whoever wins that series gets the 4 seed, whoever loses gets the 5 seed of the AA. And guess what, boys? Nazgul 9's coming for you. You heard it here first.
Oh, Ox is making calls out here on Weekly Roundup for his own playoff challenge day. So that's, yeah, you heard it here first. If you're watching right now, that's absolutely unprecedented. He is beating his chest right now. Let's go. All right, let's look at
Decision
AAA.
day, baby. I got to put the cap on for that one, the decision cap.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. And we look here at the players who have awarded themselves the top 6 seeds in the AAA. Congratulations to Big George. In a tight race with the Foxes and the Base Bandits, coming out on top with the number 1 seed as the rookie here in this group. All the rest of the players, returning players in the AAA, who have got themselves bye rounds into the quarterfinals in the form of Blue Panther and the Foxes, just no name in the Base Bandits, Unholy Milkmen and Unholy Jesus, Eduardo and his faithful the Sirloins, and then Chronic Lies and the Femme Fatales. If you remember the Femme Fatales, the World Series runner-up last season, snuck in at the last minutes of the bye round.
Yeah, great job by the Fatales of getting in there. We considered them a top 5 team, top 6 team all season, being the defending runner-up, like you mentioned. But how about the Night Owls, man? The only rookie on the left side of your screen coming in number 1. He did it almost wire to wire, I believe. So great job by Big George. Really, I don't feel like he did that much dominating as far as we've seen in the past with a lot of mercies by maybe the 1 seed. But George just plays all around great baseball, man. He plays every facet of the game really solid. And great job to the newcomer there, finishing on top. But he's going to be challenged by whoever he decides to pick on decision day. It's not going to be an easy choice.
No, I wouldn't say so. There's no easy choices in this AAA at all. I think anybody could really come out of this on top when you consider everybody who's going to be in the conversation of being in the quarterfinals. All these players have shown, the ability to hit, the ability to pitch, the ability to win the close game. And as you said, great job by George to get it done in his rookie season. But, Panthers in that Von Asen conversation. No name knows how to play at Shaka better than anybody else, and I wouldn't want to take him in a series 7 games there. You know what I mean? Unholy Milkman putting up power numbers like you've never seen before. In a lot of ways, this feels like a season where Rada's taken the next step, and then you have a World Series runner-up in here, and then you have to talk about who comes out of this round robin, where you've got the Hikers already 3-0 with runs coming from, it seems like nowhere, a plus 13 run differential already in the round robin after just 2 days and 3 games. You have Tezzy in the mix, who's packed games in late but has had a powerful offense all season. The Stars as well packed a lot of games in late and really showed they can win close games. Dark Raiders trying to find his way, and this is the best place for him to do it right now. And then you see the Pumas, the Golden Doodles, Ball Justice, and Mystery Inc. all in the same sort of situation where, again, they're playing a ton of close games. They played a lot of close games at the end, and this is a huge refresh for all these teams to make something happen.
Absolutely, man. What a rundown right there. I love it. How about the Hikers, man? I did not realize I saw him get a big 1-0 victory over the Rocket, but I did not know that he still jumped out to a 3-0 record already in this round robin. So how about those Hikers, man? Great job. And, good luck to all those AAA teams in the round robin. You love to see it. And I would not want to face one of the 2 guys that comes out of that right side.
Yeah, and you're going to have to choose, pick your poison too. So that'll be interesting for the AAA decisions as well. I mean, there's going to be a ton of conversations that come from that. I don't know if that's going to be something we'll be able to do live. Maybe we'll try and gather all the decisions and do some sort of reveal for everybody to get, in the same place for and get excited about. We haven't really talked about that yet, and we will definitely look into it as the round robin gets to be a bit clearer as to when all the games are going to get finished up. We hope by, just the end of the straight week on Sunday, but if anyone needs outstanding time, as always, communicate that to the league office and we'll be able to work with you to get things done as quickly and easily as possible for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever have any issues, always reach out to the office. They are much more understanding and able to work with you if you just tell them if you have something going on. Don't keep it to yourself or whatever it may be. But good luck to all the teams. As like we've said, both the AA and AAA round robins got started this week, even tonight as we speak. So good luck to everybody getting your games in, and we look forward to seeing who comes out on top.
Yeah, and that'll be it for our round robin and playoff chatter for the evening till next week. And we'll move on now to Wishbone's stats that he's highlighted for us this week. I think a lot of really good stuff here for us to go through. And right off the rip, we're going to talk about AAA a little bit more and their season milestones that they managed to reach this season. And interestingly enough, there was no single season records that were broken in the AAA this season, but there was notable single game performances that Wishbone was able to highlight. The single game records tab, something new to the spreadsheet this season that has brought a lot of interesting games out of the history of the XBL. So we'll talk first about a matchup between Chronic Laws and Unholy Jesus that produced a combined 11 home runs, tying them for the second most home runs ever hit in a AAA game. The record was set last season between Unholy Jesus, who participated in this one, and One-Eyed Seaman with 13.
Yeah, One-Eyed Seaman with 28-0 in the regular season of AAA last year, the offensive juggernaut, and Jesus an offensive juggernaut in his own right. Great job, here by Wishbone as always. Points out that there was no records actually broken in AAA, but there was certainly some eye-popping games. And the next two stats that Wishbone gathered for us this week, Dwayne, come from the AA, as we have Captain Bruisin making an appearance this week in the mentions. The Sea Monsters are monsters on the mound. Captain Bruisin and his Monsters finished the season leading the AA in strikeouts on the mound. Notable because it was 40 more strikeouts than anybody else, than the next closest team. Secures Captain Bruisin with the AA single season strikeouts record formerly held by Cougar in season 10 with 63 strikeouts, so about half as many strikeouts. I think there was 8 teams in season 10, so not as many games played, but certainly an impressive job here by Captain Bruisin.
Yeah, that's huge by Captain Bruisin. Something that we didn't even really notice or follow unless you looked at that part of the sheet where Wishbone highlights these races for the record books, and that's absolutely an awesome stat. Tons and tons of strikeouts, setting records in the AA. Congratulations to Captain Bruisin. And real quick, we did skip a little part of the last one. That's my fault, but it is also related to the strikeout, and it goes back to AAA. I just want to highlight it because Wishbone wanted to bring it up, and it's Dark Raider setting that single game strikeout record in AAA this season, striking out D-Sil 19 times in their matchup, breaking the record previously set by Job over Captain Krill of 17 in season 8.
Wow, that's incredible. And Dark Raider getting D-Sil to strike out 19 times, and I believe lost the game, Dwayne. I'm not positive on that.
No, I think D-Sil
egged it out 1-0.
Yeah,
so that's incredible to think about, striking out at the dish 19 times and still winning the game. But him and Dark Raider had some really close battles. Like we said, that 19 times breaks the previous K record of 17 set by Job over Captain Krill back before there was a velo cap.
Yeah, season 8, the year of the pitcher, and we've seen a ton of strikeouts this season in opposition to that have really brought some eyes from the league office definitely onto how and why that might be occurring. And there's pure, and along with the offensive increase too, it's crazy to see how things have changed, especially after the past few seasons. The next thing Wishbone wants to highlight here tonight is Comedy Baseball in the AA has the last laugh. After a rough start to his season, Fresh Poet and the Comedy Baseball Club finished the season strong, going 6-2 in their final 8 games to end with an 8-14 record. Although his batting average was identical through each stretch of the season, his opponent batting average dropped by 134 points from 442 in his first 14 games to 308 in his final 8 games.
That's massive, man. That's a great job by Fresh Poet, who is, this is actually his rookie season, as is for a lot of guys in Double A. And it's cool to mention not only him and Sea Monsters as well, who had the strikeout record despite being like a bottom 5 team in the record, overall record, still doing a great job on the mound. And Fresh Poet really played murderer's row right out the gate. He played guys like the Razorbacks, like myself, and like AG, I believe. So that led to that 2-12 record in his first 14, and then finished 6-2, like you said. Just a great job to bounce back, and he got it done on the mound and made some adjustments.
Yes, indeed. And another highlight on the mound. This time we'll take it to the XBL. We've got a little bit to talk about from all 3 leagues. And as reported last week, Weaver and the Beavers are the only team in reach of the all-time single-season strikeout record of 240 set by Bice in Season 8. And Weaver right now is currently sitting at 228, so he's 12 strikeouts shy of the record with 6 games remaining to be played. So he only needs 2 strikeouts a game to tie the record. You have to think within the next week, Weaver's going to go ahead and break that record. As we stated, from the pitching dominant Season 8, here in Season 12, he will be well above 240 strikeouts.
Yeah, Weaver, surely I'm not cringe enough to jinx you by saying this, my friend, but congratulations prematurely here on that. You still got to go out and get it done, but just an incredible season so far. And it would really be something to see you break that record. So go get it, man. You love to see it.
Yeah, Weaver with the, as far as totals go and as far as pitching numbers go, probably the highest strikeout per 9 rate ever since he's joined the league. So that's definitely contributing to the rapid rate he's able to continue to rack them up. Weaver swearing by the strikeout, and it's got him a couple of on aces. So, there's something to it. We got to learn how to strike guys out like him.
Yeah, he's certainly figured something out, and he backs it up every season that he's been involved. So quickly making a name for himself as one of the most skilled pitchers that we've ever seen, and keep on backing it up, man. We love to see it.
Absolutely. And let's see some players now back up their play with some defense and maybe a little bit of offense. We've got, our plays of the week top 5 coming right at you. And we'll start off with number 5. This is a submission from Joey and the Teamsters against those Sea Monsters who we just talked about, using his head out there in center field a little bit to rob a extra base hit. It looks like, that one
intended.
Yeah.
Whoops.
That one off like 6 inches off the ground or whatever. This is one of those rare plays that you have to highlight when you come across it.
Yeah, he's teaching Jose Canseco how he should have done it back in the day, and just off the noggin, back into play. I think it might have hit the top of the fence as well. So, actually, if it did hit that fence at all, it should have been a live baseball. But Metalhead says, you're out, take a seat, and it's an incredible highlight play. We appreciate Joey for the submission.
Yeah, great play. Always have to see it, when it comes across, like I stated. And I'm pretty sure Captain Brusen thought he had that runner all the way around and at least was going to score when the ball hit the guy in the head. But yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, that's brutal.
The next play we have to highlight is here from Weaver, and this is Nongchias Nornsby getting over the shoulder from second base and saving a run and winning the game against the Flashertons. This was to end it, so solid defense here from Weaver, making it happen.
Yeah, really a tough play as Quentin Success making a rare appearance for the Beavers on the mound, but Nornsby dove straight back there, nosedive. If Weaver angles the joystick at all right there, left or right, he had to, perfectly angle that straight back. So a nice catch and timed perfectly. And Dwayne, if that ball gets down and Flash is in business, who knows what it would have turned out.
Yeah, maybe he gets himself a rally going with 2 outs. It looked like he had something brewing, but Weaver takes it right away there. Nongchias, he's been known to break the hearts of many, so nice job by him there. We look at our third play of the week, and this is another submission from the AA. This one from AG. He travels about a mile while up here against the Saints to rob a homer and end the inning at Apple Field. Look at him go.
Yeah, Joltin' Joe's an appropriate name for that guy because he really, Joe jolted all the way to the warning track and took one away from Azrael, who, man, Dwayne Azrael, I'm pretty sure, played him pretty tight in this series. That's a guy who is, much like Fresh Poet, has really turned his season around after a rough start. And this would have made it a 5-3 ball game here late. So a huge play by AG, and that's the type of game play that'll save you a game.
Yeah, Jolton Joe out here, and with the number 3 play of the week, and any other week you'd have to think this probably ranks higher, but these next two you're about to see are almost dead similar, but in different ways, just that much more meaningful. And this number 2 we have to show you here is from D-Sil, submitted by Dark Raider. Look at this play in the gap. This is again the 1-0 game between these two. D-Sil saving a run, this game ending 1-0 in the victory for him. You would have to think he scores if this hits the gap, for sure.
Yeah, and also not only a big shout out to D-Sil for the great defense, but how about Dark Raider, man? This is next level clipping skills. I love the slow-mo and the zoom in for us right there as he gets that next level look at Compass, making almost the glitch dive as Metalhead. You know, Compass doesn't get the glove all the way there, but the ball gets into the gloves. D-Sil timed that dive perfectly, man. What a play.
Yes, that is an amazing play, and you'd have to think what could possibly top that for a submission for play number 1 of the week. And I have to tell you, it's one that's quantity and quality. We saw it on Match of the Week. It's Big George doing it twice against Dark Raider, this time in left field in the corner, diving in that El Viejo gap that we just saw, completing a double play. And we watched the transition again. Shout out to Dark Raider for making that happen. And this time he does it with his center fielder at Motor Yard. 2 plays on Match of the Week that are just absolutely tough to make.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are just as difficult and skilled of a play as we just saw D-Sil make, but George does it twice, and not only does he do it, but he does it on Match of the Week with all eyes on him. So like I mentioned earlier, George, a great hitter, but he does it at every facet of the game. He's a very solid player all around. And like I said also earlier, Dark Raider, I appreciate you submitting these plays, man. These are heartbreakers to go against you. How much bad luck can you take in one sitting? But we appreciate the submission.
Yeah, and the editing skills are definitely adding a ton of quality to the clip as well. So shout out to him for that.
Yeah, I love it.
And shout out to all the submissions this week. A lot of fun plays to get through. And now we're here at the nitty gritty, Ox. It's AA and AAA playoff time in the XBL, soon to wrap up.
Yeah, guys, this is the most fun time of year. If you've never played an XBL season before, this is the time you live for. Like, these are the 1, 2, 3 weeks where, this is why you play. This is what all the scrims and all the team building and all the games you've played that, they mean a lot to you, but they haven't meant anything yet. Now we're getting into, I promise you, if you haven't had sweaty palms on the controller, you're going to have them here soon.
Yes, indeed. These games, they really do give you the jitters. They feel like they're bigger than any of these other ones that we get to play. So all the excitement comes down to it. And shout out to everybody who managed to get their games in this week to make it happen. We really do appreciate all the participation. That really is the entire thing that makes this tick. If you're not playing games, then there's nothing that is the XBL. So we're here. It's almost playoff time for all these teams, and we're going to be really looking forward to it. We appreciate it. And Ox, thank you for being here with me again in the booth, and everybody in chat. Shout out to you guys for being here. And with that said, I think we'll see you again for Match of the Week later this week. Big one in the XBL between Flash and Boops coming at you.
Uh-oh, 2 OG members right there. But yeah, well said, Dwayne. And thanks again to everybody. Thanks to you, and thanks to Wishbone as always. And good luck to everybody in the playoffs, guys. I'm excited and can't wait to see how everybody does.
Yes, indeed. Good luck and have a safe and pleasant evening, everyone.
Later, guys.